Play a clip. Do you remember? She said there's a stack of something upstairs she's worried about. She's got a whole stack of problems upstairs. We all thought it was bills. If she had said the words, I have a stack of lies upstairs, we would have known immediately it wasn't bills. Immediately. Bills aren't lies. Where the electric company says you owe them $9,000. Lies!
Because I have 0 level 10 bad things in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I could show you a whole stack of level 10 bad upstairs.
To me, that's a level 4.
That's insane.
That's a level 4
That
for me.
is insane.
I'm an optimistic person.
No, I think that's just a matter of perception.
It's a level 4. A level 10 is like you died.
That's how I know. That's how I know. It's dead simple. If she had said a stack of lies, we would have never assumed it was bills. But Aaron has to gaslight you. Aaron has to do 2 things here. He has to make you think it's old news. We already talked about this. And he has to make you think it's not true. April herself said it was a stack of lies. She didn't. She didn't. She was talking about stress. She was talking about, not getting along with Ashley. There was never a stack of lies. He wants you to think she's disputing her own testimony in the text and in the HRO petition. He wants you to think April is saying, I lied about those texts just because I was mad, because we got in a fight. And by the way, this is a psycho bitch. If you just get in a fight and nothing, and it was just words, and then she runs and tells your ex-wife that you choked her until she couldn't breathe and headbutted her and said, take your ass back to Litchfield. She just made all that up because you got in a bad fight one day. She made up 2 types of physical abuse that are very specific. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And here he is telling us that April called it a stack of lies, which she never did, and that this was them talking about it before as best they could. Now, there was nothing in the document that says they can't talk about allegations of previous abuse. There was nothing in the document that said they can't talk about fights they've had in the past. So he's doing this thing. He's like, we already talked about this at the best we could at the time. Well, guess what? The best they could talk about it at the time because of the HRO is the same as he can talk about it today because of the HRO. He's still under that protective order now, the same as he was in January. So how come he can come out now and explain it better? How come he can come out now and say the allegations in it were false? Weird. So his whole thing about the domestic abuse is we already talked about this. And you go, when? And he goes, when we mentioned the stack of lies. And it's like, well, she never called it that. Yeah, but still, we already talked about it. Moving on.
That's what she would be. She would be talking about an order that she got. I'm not going to say about mine. Not saying anything about mine.
I thought you only talked about your stuff.
It was about an order that she got that I also received for myself. And she was not too keen about the stuff that was in it.
Can we get does anybody have a copy of April's? Because I've only seen Aaron's. Does anybody have April's HRO? I wonder what's in that.
Neither was I. Some of the stuff in it makes April and I look great.
It doesn't.
And that's the stuff from about 8-9 months ago.
Watch him look at the camera.
Great. And that's the stuff from about 8-9 months ago. So here's what happened. Over on Kiwi Farms, remember the guy who leaked the the Ricada 9-year-old testing positive for coke document?
Yeah, the one you talked about for a week.
Yeah, that guy. He got a hold of a protection order.
Wait, you said it was a small group of people. You said a couple people, just haters only. So it was the same people that found the Ricada stuff. It's the same. Oh, so what you've been focusing your show on for the past 2 months. Guys, it was a small group of insignificant. We don't need to talk about it here on the Steel Toe Show. We do other stuff on the Steel Toe Show. Actually, it's the same guy that found the thing I haven't been able to shut up about. But this one's about me. It's also a wasn't supposed to be released court document that's been released, and now it's about me and my personal abuse. And I'd rather just move on and not talk about this. This is not important. It's a small group of people, and now it's coming out that it is all the same people.
That's out against me from a third party, and a protection order that's against April from a third party. This was something that broke April and I's hearts at the time because everything was going very well.
It wasn't. You guys had such a poor relationship that you had just opened up the relationship to other people and drugs. Who are you kidding, dude? Like, what? He can't even see it in retrospect. In January, he wants you to think they were doing great. Him and April were great. You had just started fucking other people. You could argue it was going awful and it was the beginning of the end. You could argue it was the chisel that began the crack of the downfall. I mean, from December on, this relationship was fucked. So knock it off. This idea that this landed on your desk and you guys were both heartbroken. Why? Why? She said it all. She said it all. What was it like when you read that? You choked her till she couldn't breathe, and you headbutted her, or you squeezed her, or you mushed her face in, or whatever the fuck you did to her. When you read that together and it was completely fake, did you laugh and go like, huh? What's this Play-Doh silly bitch talking about? Or did you look at each other and go like, I wish you hadn't texted her that. I wish you hadn't divulged the personal details about when I lost my temper and mashed your face. I wish you hadn't have done that. Yeah, I bet it was a bummer, man. I bet it sucked.
There's a theme in April and I's relationship where everything is going really well and a third-party incident finds its way in there.
So again, blaming everything on the ex-wife. I love this. How does this reconcile in real life? How does this play out and reconcile? Everything that went bad in April and Aaron's life was because of a third party causing problems. That third party, again, is Ashley Larue, his ex, the mother of his children, the one he gets along with perfectly now and everything's going great. But I can't mention her name or talk about her at all. Does any of this add up? Nothing he says fits with what actually happened when we see it. April and Ashley had no issues. They were girlfriends almost. It was a little too close. Matter of fact, they were so close that once Aaron started physically abusing April, April felt comfortable confiding in Ashley about the physical abuse. They were so close that the current wife felt comfortable confiding in about a physical abuse of a husband to a former wife of said husband. That's close, dog. That's close. If Ashley's this vindictive cunt, she would run him back to Aaron and immediately tell him. If Ashley was this person who hated April, why would April feel like she was the only person she could talk to about this? Over a 4-month period, according to Ashley's testimony, May to August 2022, this abuse and these stories of April confiding to Ashley happening. Again, months of abuse. Months. Not one incident. Not the worst fight we ever had. Months. It says it multiple times in the HRO that this went on from May to August. May to August, she was confiding in her. The minute Aaron found out, he turned them against each other. You see it in the text. Again, Aaron thinks everyone's dumb, that we can't see it. We see it in the text. Him white knighting for April, and you need to be nice to April. And you've got to start respecting April. I want April to be a part of this. Get April in here on the chat. And then you know he's going to April going, she doesn't want you in there. She doesn't think you're a real mother. She doesn't think you have what it takes to take care of these kids. She doesn't want you driving around with those kids. This is how he turned them on one another. This is how he did it. He wanted them all in that group chat, not because that was what was fair. He didn't want them talking behind his back. He spreads this thing like, April and I both got 2 texts, and she said different things to us. She told me one thing, and she told April a different thing. That's not what happened. Again, this is all in the text messages. We see it. Aaron admits he's not a good parent. He can't keep up with his children's appointments. That's April's job. I didn't become a father to take care of kids, said Aaron. So he delegated all that to April. The cooking, the cleaning, the scheduling, the picking kids up. He made her sell her car to get another car that could fit more car seats. There was giant fights about this stuff on air. There was a lot of resentment. So when this incident happened where they had tickets to go see Rascal Flatts or whoever the fuck it was, and there was a weekend mix-up where Ashley needed him to take the kids, and because they were going to the Hootenanny camping trip or something, and then, Mubi wanted her to have the kids because they had tickets to go see fucking Pink or something. I don't know what the fuck, but either way, there was a big disagreement, and that's when Aaron did the big push that we all need to be in the same text group. Now, again, Aaron will tell you that make it seem like something else. Like, no, we found out she was telling us different things. She was telling April one thing and me a different thing. No. There was just an appointment that you lost track of because you're not a good dad. There was just an appointment that you lost track of because you're not a good father. And by the way, no one's blaming you for that. You never see your kids. We don't expect you to be a good dad. We don't expect you to know what's coming up in their lives. We saw you sing karaoke with Charlotte, afraid to touch her, for fear of sending her into some sort of, I don't know, shock or something at the touch of her natural-born father. It's weird how you have no problem laying hands on your wife, but you're afraid to touch her own fucking children. It's fucking sad, man.
That was a common theme where...
Listen to this again, where he blames Ashley for everything.
And a third-party incident finds its way in there.
So did it seem like Aaron and Ashley and April couldn't get along because of Ashley? Did it seem like Ashley was trying to break them up? I mean, Ashley was a goddamn saint. She was wishing April well, saying she's the best thing that ever happened to him. She's sorry that he's such a monster and he can't love her. She's sorry that he abuses her. Who was the catalyst that interrupted that relationship? How could a third party fuck up Ashley and April's relationship? Oh, well, the third party was Mubi. He wants you to think again that they couldn't get along and he was constantly trying to keep the peace. We've seen the messages, liar. They got along great. You're a sensitive, emotional bitch, and every time you didn't get your way, you threatened court and you threatened mediation. The tens of thousands of dollars you claim to have spent because they couldn't get along was you. In all those messages, the only person going and I'll take you back to mediation. I'll take you in front of a judge. That's not what mediation said. Do you want to go back? I'm done here. If you want to go back to mediation, that's what we'll do. That was you. That was you. Neither one of those women wanted to go to mediation. It was you, bitch. You're the little fucking girl who, when you didn't get your way, you fucking stomped your feet and threatened your ex-wife. You think that's good for the kids? Again, you scream about the kids. Your daughter had an emergency, and you told your wife if she took her to an out-of-network emergency room, you wouldn't pay for her care. Dad of the year. Dad of the year. By the way, after you fucking squeeze your wife so she can't breathe and then headbutt her into a concussion so she thinks she still loves you, do you allow her to go out of network? Where do you send your wife when you squeeze her to the point where she turns blue and can't breathe? Where do you send your wife? You fucking pathetic piece of shit. The kids, your own kids. Your own kids. You're like, if it's out of network, let them die. Fucking idiot.
I cannot talk about it because I'm not allowed to. Now, to a completely unrelated story. Image, there is this professional broadcaster that is a really cool guy that one day gets a divorce. And even though there is proof, this guy is way too cool to strangle his wife or put Coke on SpaghettiOs. Oh, wait, there is no proof for that.
Internet person says, great work, bud. Thank you. Tukey's Bacon Tongue, FKA Queefer Sutherland, says, you think he can still grift to be a locale, or is he done? You can always make money. There's always money in the banana stand.
Okay, Melton, you win. I will be adding wife-beater shirts to the merch store. So come on, toe suckers, order those shirts. Help me reach the goal and bring in another win for the toe.
Another win for the toe.
Hello, Meltown. My nephew Shroomdiff has an important question. He wants to know, why don't you, as an immensely glorious human specimen, just eat the annoying, smaller homunculi?
Jesus Christ. Homunculi?
That was a
Homunculi.
a common theme.
A common theme was that Ashley Larue kept ruining their perfect marriage. It's Ashley Larue's fault that Aaron didn't talk to his parents. It's Ashley Larue's fault that April had to quit her job at the factory. It's Ashley Larue's fault that Aaron cheated on her. It's Ashley Larue's fault that Aaron came back and cheated on his girlfriend with his wife and knocked her up. It's Ashley Larue's fault that Aaron then left her before the baby was born. It's Ashley Larue's fault that Aaron went and made April cheat on her boyfriend at the factory. Are you guys catching it yet? This guy's a bad dude. It's Ashley Larue's fault that Aaron rushed into a marriage. It's Ashley Larue's fault that April got beaten. It's Ashley Larue's fault that April couldn't breathe. It's Ashley Larue's fault that they can never get along. It's Ashley Larue's fault that he was clout chasing Nick Rekieta every time April got up and did coke on the show, and Aaron knew it was in the household for months and months and months, even though he pretends like he wasn't. It's all Ashley Larue's fault. It's all Ashley's fault. This was a common theme, he said, where they had a perfect life, and Ashley kept sticking her nose in. They weren't going to do coke, but then Ashley showed up with the coke. They weren't going to swing and cheat on each other and ruin their relationship, but Ashley thought it would be a good idea. It's all Ashley Larue's fault, who, again, he gets along fine with, and they have a great relationship, better than ever now, even though he can't say her name. Everything's going great with her. She's the best, and she can never take my kids away from me again. It's all been settled. Right.
where April and I would be on a hot streak.
Now, again, a hot streak means they're getting along. Things are going well. It's a 3-year marriage. That's not something you don't. You've been with a girl for 3 years. You don't describe good streaks and bad streaks. I mean, like, you've had a 3-year marriage and it has bad streaks in it already? Like, yeah. And then we would be good. You know, we'd be like on a good streak, and then like Ashley would fuck it all up. Right. That's all I've seen evidence of. It was all Ashley's fault. Everything bad that's happened to Aaron Imholte, it's all been Ashley Larue's fault. That's why when you go look at Ashley Larue's life, it's just tumultuous. Everything's just a mess. I imagine her house is just a shitty trailer with garbage everywhere. Because Ashley Larue's just a chaotic individual, and she won't let Aaron and April have a cool, calm, normal life. Right?
And then it always seemed like something from the outside wanted to come in. Not any specific person, just something from the outside.
Yeah. How did stuff from the outside keep permeating your relationship? How did Nick get in here? How did this cocaine find its way into my children's hair?
You know. So in January of this year, April and I both get served with the document that leaked. And as April...
Look at the hug. Look at the hug. Watch him go into it. Watch him go into the hug whenever it's uncomfortable.
Get served with the document that leaked.
No, that's just an old school pose I do when I'm full of shit.
And as April and I get served with the document that leaked, and the Ricadas were over, we sat, we cried, we talked about it, everything else.
So these documents get served to them and all four of them cry over it? That's fucking great. That's great.
We went through everything in it, and we were like, and honestly, when you get one of these, we looked through it, and both of us went, no, 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 no.
I just don't believe it, because why? Why would April look at her own text messages and be like, no, no, no? And I bet it was Mooby's first time seeing some of these texts. These were private texts between April and Ashley. So it was Mooby's first time seeing some of these. I imagine he was going through April's phone quite a bit. He'll allude to it here in a minute.
And we decided we're going to fight this.
And then we didn't, because here we are 6 months later, and it's still in effect.
And as it got more and more expensive to fight it, as we found...
This is where all your money went, by the way. You thought you were supporting their life. No, you were supporting their drug habit and their legal defense. Keep giving him money. Keep giving him money while he beats his wife and then has to use the money for a defense. Did you know? Did you know how much of your money was being used to defend him from beating his wife?
No headway in negotiating a different form of it, because, this thing wouldn't let April drive the children to pick. You remember when Monday shows?
Rightfully so. All she does is get speeding tickets and suck dick. That's all she does. Suck dick and get tickets. So, yeah, I wouldn't want my kids with her either, and I don't even have kids. Kids are stupid.
Kids are stupid.
Had to move to 7:30. That's because April was not legally allowed to drop the children off.
We know. And by the way, she was on coke. You can't even argue with that. I love the fact that they just got into cocaine and swinging in January. They get served the documents with their swinging partners. So they're probably all sitting around in a giant pillow pile doing coke and sucking each other off. They get served these papers, and then they're all like, we're going to fight it. How dare she say we're not good parents? Pass the bullet. This is literally when you became unfit to be parents. And you decide you're going to fight it? Oh, they're saying we can't drive the kids and be around the kids and hang out with the kids? Okay, well, we're fighting this. Great timing, guys.
This person didn't want, this order didn't want April dropping the children off or picking the children up. And any parent will tell you that's going to drive a wedge between those relationships. So,
again, Mooby orchestrated all this. They got along swimmingly before he got involved in their relationship. And again, this is all borne out in the text messages. Go read them for yourself or check the show from Friday where we go over them for you. I hope to have a clip up of that later. Probably have to pull myself. Or I'll just go I'll just download Doom's video and re-upload it. You know, what's the gray area of that? If Doom clips my show and that's his whole clip, can I go clip his clip? Fair's fair. Could you repackage it and send it to me to put up too? I'll put up the same clip. Can we just put up the same clip? That actually might work. I don't. You put it up first. You can have it first. You're concerned about like the expediency of getting the clip up. I'm worried about. I just want it up. I just want it like on my channel. Anyway, we'll be coming for you'll hear from my lawyer before the day's out, Doom. We'll be coming for you. Oh yeah, fair use, buddy. Clip it all you want. He even says it right in his thing. You're allowed to. I would never do that. I like Doom. I'm fucking around, of course. Mostly. I want everybody to be successful and be happy. That's the main thing. But also, like, you know, if I do have to find out where his children go to school and murder them with a Capri Sun straw, I will. I always thought that'd be the perfect murder weapon. A Capri Sun straw. Imagine like the blood squirting out of someone's chest. Holy shit. Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close. No one has voted anything else. The entire goddamn day, including Anonymous. Hail the Onion. $100 from Anonymous going on the old board. Anyway, I'll murder you with a Capri Sun.
This whole thing comes out. I will say this. I could easily come out here and go, oh, yeah, that leak, it's a total fake. Look how shitty it looks. I will say this. It is the incomplete order.
I mean, why could you do? You can't do that unless it's fake. Like, I love that that's his instinct. He's like, I thought about coming out here and just saying it was all fake. But then I figured, like, that would be a bad move. But he lets us know that crossed his mind. By the way, I could have come out and just lied and said it was fake. But I didn't. And we're all supposed to be like, wow, he's so brave. He said it was real. He's so brave.
It's not the whole thing.
Okay, hold on. This is the best part. It's not the whole thing. Now, I think that's provable that that's bullshit because the pages are numbered. But listen to this.
I will say this. It is the incomplete order. It's not the whole thing.
There was a fax cover sheet on there that you guys don't have. So
I mentioned things in it to people, and they're like, that's not in here.
I mentioned things in it to people, and they said, that's not in here. Because it's not in there. Things you made up that are in your mind, that are your side of the story, aren't in there. You're telling me, you want me to believe, and somebody please, you get it. We're supposed to believe there's pages missing. Oh yeah, there actually was a page in the middle that said, Mubi did none of this. There was a page right in the middle that was like, this is fine. Ignore the rest of this document. We think Ashley's making it up. Probsly fake. Probs most definitely fake. Okay, I don't know what's happening now. Anonymous might be doing it again. Anonymous sent in $100 and said, hail the onion. And then Anonymous sent in another 100 and said, I will simply repeat, hail the onion, carry on. Oh, no. Oh, no. We've smashed the goal. We're hundreds and hundreds past the goal. He's not going to like this over there at the Steel Toe Hour.
Well, that's fascinating.
So he wants you to believe there are parts of the document missing. Oh, you guys don't have the whole document. We have the whole Ricada document and everything in those is 100% true. Oh, you only have the pages that said I did choke her? You only have the pages that said I headbutted her and made her where she can't breathe? You only have the pages where, you don't have the pages where I was doing all the good stuff? Well, try to get a copy. We'll try to find a copy that has all the good stuff about me. There's actually a lot of really positive stuff in that petition for a restraining order against me. There's actually like 7 more pages where it's like, he's totally nice and normal. There were a lot of text messages where they were like, he's not a monster, right? He's one of the handsomest guys. And his boxing record, am I right? 0-2, hubba, hubba. What? What would be missing? What would be missing? I'd love to know. I really would. I will tell you this. It's missing a lot of stuff. Because I asked someone, I was like, what about the part in there where it says I'm Father of the Year? And it has a picture of me with my mug. And they were like, that's not in there. And I was like, it's not? Fuck. You guys don't have the real one.
Easily come out here and go, oh, yeah, that leak, it's a total fake. Look how shitty it looks.
I could easily come out here and say it's fake. Look how shitty it was. I could easily come out here and lie like I do to you people every day. But today I chose not to. And now I'm just lying differently.
I will say this. It is the incomplete order. It's not the whole thing. I mentioned things in it to people, and they're like, that's not in here. Well, no, that's...
You didn't see the part where it said I'm innocent and the best broadcaster? They're like, that's not in here. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay, that's fascinating. But I think it's just one. I don't know if it's mine or hers.
And why won't he tell us what's in it? I will tell you this is not the whole thing, but I won't tell you what is. If I know one thing, Aaron doesn't like to say stuff that defends him. So he just mentions, don't worry, there's other stuff in there that's really good about me. It's not the whole thing. But he won't tell us what it is. That's just Aaron being humble. If I know Aaron, and I do, he's so humble. Here's another 100 from Anonymous. One more. Hopefully you do a 4th day night stream. Regardless, you are killing it. Not news, but still. Go, go, go. Let's go. Hold on. Tonight? You don't got enough money to get me to do a show tonight.
But it's one of the two. And it's just... Look, again, I have to be careful with how I say this. It's just... There's a lot in there.
Today, you got to be careful. Today's got to be careful. Everyone else's stuff, he doesn't have to be careful at all. What? You're gonna say they're lying in the document? Come on, Nick. It's all there in black and white in the document.
There's a lot in there. And naturally, I'm not going to agree with everything that's in there. April didn't agree with everything that's in there. I will say this, no matter...
April didn't agree with everything that's in there. She saw 1 million of her own texts. It was like, whoa. Now, again, she's in front of you, and you're the one who choked her out. So, yeah, of course she has to be like, oh, yeah, I never said that.
No matter how much April and I dislike each other at this point, and we do, I do wish she was here to talk about this one.
Okay, so let's listen to this duplicitous spin. He says here, I wish April was here to talk about this. Okay, keep that in mind. Just remember it. I wish April was here to talk about this. Keep that in mind.
Because one thing she would, I think her and I would still be lockstep on this issue. Because like I said, we've discussed it before. So this document gets leaked. And in the document, ignoring everything else in the document, everyone who hates my guts goes right to a screenshot of a text.
Now, I hate you more than anybody, and I didn't jump straight to that. There are 1 million fascinating revelations here. Again, number one, that you keep anything legal hidden about you that's bad about you. I mean, this is domestic abuse. You can sit here and spin it and downplay it all you want. In a lot of ways, that makes it worse. Again, if you came out and said, this happened, I lost my mind, that was fucking wrong, I own it, I'm taking accountability for it, and it'll never happen again, would be one thing. You dismissing it and downplaying it here, no, there's not one person who thinks this didn't happen. Okay? And again, putting myself at risk, this did happen. This did happen. You squeezed your wife's face until she couldn't breathe. You headbutted and squeezed your wife. This is physical abuse. You did it. There isn't one person who thinks this didn't happen or it went down differently. This happened and you did it. That's a fact. Everyone believes that. You keep making this about the document. We already discussed it. The document? How about when you fucking hurt your wife? How about when you fucking laid hands on your wife? That's what we're talking about. We don't care that you addressed a document. Address physically abusing your wife. That's what we're talking about. That's what, again, no one thinks this didn't happen. It happened. It happened. And the more you downplay it, like it didn't, or it was nothing, or that's old news, it was the worst fight ever, so of course, yeah, you're not helping, man. Oh, you should hope that your worst fight never gets hit. My worst fight doesn't involve me making someone not breathe. Sorry. Also, why can't you do that in the ring? Fuck. How come you're so good out of the ring? Oh, yeah, you only fight women. You're like a trans athlete. Fucking sack of shit.
A screenshot.
I'm focused on all of it. I'm focused on the abuse. I'm focused on how you ruined. Again, for someone who pretends to care about children so much, your ex-wife and wife were getting along fine. This was the perfect scenario, and you went and ruined it. And that strained the relationship between your children. And then you used your children as little pawns about who and who they can't call mommy and daddy. It's sick, man. It's all in that document. So, no, I'm not jumping straight to the domestic violence, although that's probably the most egregious part. The second thing is what you've done to those children because of your ego, because of your inability to let go and let your wife have autonomy. You have to control her at every turn. I wouldn't be surprised if you tracked your wife's truck. I wouldn't be surprised if you controlled all of her communications, went through her phone, had the phone bill where you could like see who she was texting and shit. Because that's what this is about. That's what this is about. You ruining relationships. You intervening because of your fucking emotional narcissistic response. Your insecurity. They were talking. It was about you. It wasn't good. It was about what a narcissist and a monster you were. And you had to put your foot down. And if that was at your kids' expense, so be it. You'll use them as a pawn. They don't want to call you mommy. They don't want to. I mean, imagine doing that to your kids. It's fucking sad and pathetic. They were. It was all fine. It was all good until Mubi fucked it up.
Of a text that April had sent a third party after a massive fight we had. It was early.
So again, after a massive fight we had, he's not saying it, but he wants you to believe this. They showed some text that April sent after a big fight we had. Yeah, does that mean it's not true? I want to know what happened. I want to know if April made up that you squeezed her until she couldn't breathe and headbutted her. Is that what you're trying to say? You got in a fight and your wife left the house and then texted your ex-wife, he headbutted me and squeezed me till I couldn't breathe just to hurt you? She made that up.
Early 2022. It was about 2.5 years ago, this fight. So
you're allowed to make women not breathe 2 years ago. My bad.
Fight 2.5 years ago. We were I can't really say what we were.
Again, This would imply they were fighting about Ashley, but we know that's not true. We see how Ashley and her got along. Ashley and April got along like good girlfriends. So he goes, I can't really tell you what we were fighting about, implying that it's covered by the HRO, like that it involves, quote unquote, the third party, Ashley Larue. But it doesn't. 100% that fight doesn't. If you're fighting about Ashley Larue, you don't yell at your wife to take her trashy ass back to Litchfield or whatever the fuck he said. It makes no sense. Another anonymous, 50, fist bump to the others who keep the 50 going. Go fuck yourself to those who don't. Hail, I can't talk. Hail. What's going on? What's going on? Anonymous with another 20. I'm the only one and true anonymous. Fuck the imposters. So we have a poor anonymous and we have a richer anonymous fighting it out. Also, the Baloney Factory with 50. As if I need more 50s over here. Baloney Factory. Stuttering John's mom should be thanking Aaron for pulling the heat off her tiny drunk son. Happy Canada Day. Is it Canada Day? Whew. Whew.
Let's just say we were fighting about texts we got that didn't seem to match up. One of us got a text saying one thing. One of us got a text saying another thing. I won't say who it was from, anything like that.
Okay, hold on. So this is what he wants you to believe led to him wanting everyone on the same co-parenting app. I want to be. The timeline here makes no sense. What he's trying to make you believe happened on a timeline makes no sense. So be very, very cognizant of this. Okay, so he says, basically when this abuse happened, he's pretending it only happened once. The squeezing her till she couldn't breathe and headbutting her or squeezing her face or whatever the fuck he did. He says, okay, it was a really bad fight, and we were fighting about somebody sent us a text, and it was two different things. They sent me one thing, and they sent her another thing. And that resulted in a big fight where I physically abused my wife, and that's why it's okay, because it was a big fight. Now, the person who texted them different things was obviously Ashley Larue, or else he would say it. So he's like, I'm not saying who, but someone texted us different things. We got in a big fight. This is what the fights were always about, according to him, Ashley. And that's what led to him being physically violent with her. So again, let me run this out for you. They get in a giant fight over Ashley. He physically assaults her, and then she texts Ashley about it and tells Ashley all the physical assault he did to her. Make sense? Does it make sense? Not at all. Ashley and her got along great at that time. They were getting along swimmingly. So even if Ashley had made a mistake and sent a conflicting text to both of them, if it led to physical violence, why then would April go and text Ashley immediately after she was assaulted if Ashley was the catalyst for the conflict? If me and my girlfriend get in a fight about my ex-girlfriend and then I beat my girlfriend, my girlfriend isn't going to text my ex and go, great, we just got in a fight about you and he hit me. Also, none of the texts say anything about a fight about Ashley. They just claim, I can't make Aaron happy. Nothing makes him happy. I don't think anyone's ever good enough for him. He's impossible to please. He's a monster. There's no satisfying him. I know how it is. I'm sorry you're going through that. I wish you could get out of there. Commiserating, again, about past instances. This isn't a one-time isolated thing. Ashley was sharing her memories of how awful and abusive he was. April, they're sitting there commiserating about it. We read the messages. This is not, they fought about Ashley and then she ran off and texted Ashley about it. He wants you to believe this because he thinks you're dumb. He thinks you can't put together timelines. No, he talked to Ashley about it because she ran and talked to Ashley about it because she knew that was the one person who would understand. If Ashley had also been with him, then she knows what an abusive monster he is. And that's exactly what she did. She said, he's a monster. I know what it's like. I'm so sad you're with him. So sad you're going through that. I hoped it would be different this time with you, but it's clearly not. I went through the same shit with him. That's what Ashley is saying. Now, would that all be happening if the initial fight, the thing that caused her to get physically assaulted, was Ashley? No, that makes no sense.